She couldn't go to no school up in New York because they didn't have no scholarship up there but for women for athletics, period. Because this was in 1952. Women wasn't even thought about as far as scholarships. So we were fortunate that she chose Tennessee State. And one of the reasons that she said that she chose Tennessee State because Tennessee State was closer to New York than Tuskegee, Alabama was. So really, we didn't have no program for her to come to. And I think that she ran into the same situation that I ran into, more or less, when she came down here. She thought she was coming down here to a place where they had really an established program.
A well-established program.
She didn't know that she was going to be the one who was going to try to establish the program. So just to make a long story short, we didn't win our first national championship until 1955. But during that time, we ran in 52 and 53. In 1954. We were building up slowly. We went from 3 girls to 4 girls to 5 girls, and we went up to 7 girls to 8 girls. Of course, now all of these were on work aid. All of them were on work aid. We started out with a budget of $300. Now, $300 was for the whole year. When we went, and we only had 1 track meet a year, that was the Tuskegee Relays. We went down there, and we had to carry a brown bag along with us down there. In other words, we carried our lunch from the cafeteria. When we went down through Alabama, well, we couldn't stop at the we couldn't stop at the restrooms. Now, we could stop and get gas, but we couldn't go in the restroom. So we had to pull aside, our automobiles and let the girls more or less hit the field. They had to hit the field. So we went through some trying times. There was no doubt about it. But we won our first national championship in 1955. I never will forget it, in Ponca City, Oklahoma. Ponca City, Oklahoma, we went down there and we won our first national AAU championship. And we was really happy and proud because it was the first time that Tennessee State had won an integrated type of championship. Now, we had won the black championship in football in 1947. And we won basketball games, but there was more or less under predominant black schools. Well, all black schools at that time. So in 1955, we won the national AAU championship.
An integrated championship.
Integrated championship, right. And I never will forget, we was on a bus. We was on a bus, and we was coming back, and we had a nice big trophy, nice tall trophy. And we had a white bus driver, and we stopped, we was stopped in Kansas. We stopped in Kansas to eat. And we went to go in this place, and they informed us that they didn't serve colored people. And, of course, the bus driver, he got off the bus and went in there and talked to the lady. And he told the lady in so many words, he said, now, these young ladies just won the national championship of the United States. He said, now, I'm sure that you wouldn't mind them eating here. And so he talked with them and everything. And she said, okay. And we got a chance to go in there and eat and everything. But that was a moving experience, And then following that, we ran in Washington, D.C. in indoor meets, and we went up there by train to Washington. And, of course, we faced the segregated type waiting room right here in Nashville. You know, I never will forget, I had one lady on the team from Jamaica named Cynthia Thompson. She went on, after she graduated from Tennessee State, went to Mahar and got her MD. And she went on in 1968. She was the doctor for the Jamaican Olympic team in Mexico. But anyway, she was with us, and we went to the waiting room where it said colored and sat in there, and she wouldn't go in. She just stood out in the, stood out in the lobby and said, now look, she wasn't going in. So So we told her why. She said, well, she wasn't going to be segregated. She wasn't going to be segregated. Not that they're not segregated in Jamaica, but she said she wasn't going to be segregated here in Nashville. But anyway, we had all those kind of experiences, and I never forget when we ran the first time in Madison Square Garden. We only had a station wagon. It was a big DeSoto station wagon. Forrest Strange was our driver, and we left Nashville, and we didn't stop till we got to New York, other than for gas.
All the way from Nashville?
All the way from Nashville to New York. And I never will forget when we got to New York, but we stayed at the Paramount Hotel. And Madison Square Garden at that time wasn't where it is now. It was in another facility, but it wasn't too far from the Paramount Hotel. And we thought we was going to get a chance to at least warm up in the garden, but before we ran that next night, we done came all the way from Nashville. Well, we was informed that there was a circus there and that the garden wouldn't have the track down until that next evening when we were supposed to run. So here we rode in an automobile, which was about anywhere from 12 to 13 hours riding, coming to New York, and here we don't have a chance to practice. So we just said, well, look, we didn't come this far just to fail, so we practiced up and down the hallways of the Paramount Hotel. People was coming out the door, and we was humming by in the hall, warming up, and they was asking questions, well, what's going on? Well, we just told them, we said, we came from Nashville, Tennessee, and we done rode all this far, and we're going to run in the garden with tomorrow, and what the garden has a circus in there, and we just have to practice. We just got to warm up and get the kinks out of it. So it was good. We went up there and we won. We was happy, and we got back in the station wagon and came on back to Nashville.
Now, where did you won in Madison Square?
Right. We won the event. We ran an individual event and ran a relay, and we won the individual event and won the relay. We only had 4 girls. We only carried 4 up there, and those were the times. They were the struggling times. Then we put 6 girls on the United States Olympic team in 1956. Which was a tremendous thing because here we just won our first national championship in '55, and we went up to Washington, D.C. For the Olympic tryouts we went at American University up there. That's where we ran our Olympic tryouts, and that's where Wilma Rudolph first came into being. We had May Fags running at that time. We had Lucinda Williams, Barbara Jones, all those young ladies, and everybody had qualified. We took first, second, and third in the 100 meters, and Wilma didn't qualify. So she had one event left, which was the 200. And Wilma at that time was just 15 years old. And May Fags was about 5'1", and Wilma, she was 6 foot. So now what you know, it just looked like a Greyhound in a Volkswagen, more or less. And May Fags was the veteran, and she had been in 2 Olympics before, so she told Rudolph, she said, now look, and she called her Skeeter because that's what they usually called her, Skeeter. Said, now look, Skeeter, I want you to just lay right on my shoulder. Said, now I want you to follow me and stick right on me. She said, because we're gonna bring you in and make you qualify. Now you had to take first, second, or third. Now we had 3 girls in there running, but she had to get in there and take first, second, or third. Of course, now May told her right quick. She said, now I'm going to take first, and the best thing you can do is take second and third. Of course, now May had already won the 100, so she was already on the team. But, I mean, it was a tremendous experience. Wilma